At TD Bank Nord Garden in Boston, Mass. Bob Fitzgerald, Jim Barnett with Matt Steinmetz. As the Warriors, a very loose bunch, beating New York last night. Our Southwest Airlines starting lineups: Michael Petras in for Al Harrington, Steven Jackson, Andres Biedrins, Kalena Azubuike, and Baron Davis. Harrington, a personal issue, is not with the team today. And for Boston, 8-1, Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett, Kendrick Perkins, Ray Allen, and he's pronouncing it differently. It is actually Rajon Rondo, the second-year point guard for Doc Rivers. And the Celtics, they lost a two-pointer to the Orlando Magic, came from 20 down. That is their only defeat. They have rested since then. For the Warriors, 3 straight wins, 2 on this road trip. And this will be really kind of a good night. Sellouts again in Boston. Boston's relevant to the NBA conversation. And you said it's one of the best stories we've had in a long time in the NBA.
The best story in years. And I think Doc Rivers ought to give Danny Ainge a huge Christmas present coming up, don't you?
Oh, when you trade the 5th pick, Wally Szczerbiak and Delonte West, and that gets you Ray Allen. You trade Al Jefferson and then a myriad of kind of role players, and you get Kevin Garnett. That's some pretty good wheeling and dealing in the offseason.
I don't care who they traded. Right now, they have a 5-time All-Star in Paul Pierce, a 7-time All-Star in Ray Allen, and a 10-time All-Star in Kevin Garnett. They have 3 all-NBA caliber players, and that's what you need to win the championship.
They do it all differently. Garnett, the rebounder, the passer, the scorer. Our Toyota Tundra keys to the ball game, Jim. What do you got?
Well, first of all, just like last night, all those deflections, all those steals, you have to continue to attack the post defensively. Dig in for that. Now, it may not work with Garnett. He's a terrific passer. He throws right over the top. Probably number 2 is the most important for them tonight offensively. Run, run, run. Make Paul Pierce run and chase people in transition along with Ray Allen. They're not used to that type of game by any means. And the 3-point percentage, it wasn't very good last night. Steven Jackson, 2 of 10. The Warriors could simply win this game if they have a hot shooting night from 3-point range. You and I talked about it after last night's game.
I thought one of the keys was going to be run, run, run until your daddy takes your T-bird away, or that type of thing.
That's very good. I like that.
Well, given your musical knowledge, I thought that would be in there. Dick Bavetta, Violet Palmer, Gary Zielinski will blow the whistles tonight.
Good crew, and Dick Bavetta's been around 33 years. Hasn't been quite that long since the Celtics won a championship, but it does go back to 1986.
So Baron Davis and Paul Pierce have known each other since grade school. They have taken over Magic Johnson's Midsummer Charity Classic game in Los Angeles. And normally it's Baron versus Pierce, but now Baron gets here and says, "Hey, Paul, you got some pretty good friends." The Warriors have had trouble in Boston, but have won 3 straight overall versus the Celtics.
Celtics are still undefeated at home. That was a road loss, of course.
Games have all been sellouts. We're going to re-tap and reset the clock.
Now, don't you think it's rather strange that Kendrick Perkins takes the jump rather than Garnett?
It's a good question.
I imagine they think he can get it, but it doesn't happen. I don't know. Garnett would be more assured.
Look at the matchups early here. Rajon Rondo, very quick hands, will be dealing with Baron. Pierce opens on Steven Jackson. Fade away by Jack is short, but Biedrins tracks it down. Baron 31 last night. Warriors traveling here to Boston last evening. Michael Petras getting the start and missing the 3 there. So no Barnes and no Al Harrington. It will require a Warrior team effort tonight. Garnett missing the first shot, and Baron with the rebound. Pierce.
Here's the first run out.
Azubuike missing. The Pierce-Jackson matchup worked both ways because Petras was guarding Garnett. Perkins with more than a few steps as he travels.
Peters gave ground there, and that was important. You know, Bob, you look at point differential, what you score and what you give up. The Celtics are plus 13.4 or 0.3. That's most of anybody in the league. And they're winning games by a huge margin. Separation.
The Celtics are the best shooting team in the NBA and the best opponent's field goal percentage team in the NBA. You don't see that double.
That's a pretty good combo, isn't it, when you think about that offensively, defensively? Warriors are trying to force it a little bit here. I know they want to take quick shots.
Feed Garnett inside. Nice delivery from Kevin Perkins, and Garnett's height advantage over Petrus obvious.
Garnett opens up here on Petrus. He should move without the ball. Now they go back normally. They're playing a zone.
The pass was to Azubuike, but Ray Allen read it beautifully. You have to find Ray Allen. The Warriors are fortunate there.
You've got to move the ball. You can't always dribble it against this club.
Barron turning it over.
They just pack it into the big guys.
Jackson committing the foul. I think that is the biggest surprise, Jim. Not that the Celtics would be able to score, but that they'd be so good defensively.
Well, Garnett got the inside position on Mikal Petrus, and they just rolled into the hoop. A lock and lob, and easily read. I don't think they called that. It just the way he set it up.
Perkins has traveled again for the second time. Ran before he dribbled the ball. Warriors have gotten off to a rough start. They're 0 for 4 with 2 turnovers, but fortunately, Boston only the single Garnett dunk. Azubuike to Biedrich, and he slid around Garnett but couldn't quite finish. Rondo, a little runner. Mims out. Biedrich battling, but Paul Pierce the rebound. Skip pass. Pierce tees up a 3. Neither team shooting any kind of percentage early.
Can they get to the rim? I'm talking about the Warriors. I thought Kalena had a chance to take him one more dribble.
There's Petrus. That's the sweet spot. And that's the shot he's got to make.
Not a good start as far as shooting percentage. Watch out, because Stevens going to pick up another foul.
2 quick ones on Steven Jackson.
Once you have that first foul and Ray Allen's driving there, you just got to let him go. Don with a very concerned look. He absorbs everything. This could put him at 500.
Same play to Garnett. Petrus never saw the ball and could do nothing but foul him.
Well, Petrus admitted already he's at a disadvantage going against bigger men. He said it's tough for him. He's got to worry about fronting because he's so long, Garnett is. You can just throw over the top, and Petrus is at his disposal.
So Garnett, 19th in the league in scoring, 4th in the league in rebounds, 8th in the league in field goal percentage. That's not a bad triple right there.
Well, and then you get to steals, and he's, in that area, he's 5th in the league in steals. He's just an all-around basketball player. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Akeem Olajuwon. Remember, he led the league in steals one year. The center.
So Garnett splits the pair. Let's see if the Warriors can take a lid off the bucket. They've opened 0 for 6. There's a lazy pass. Rondo setting up Allen. Not very sharp play by the Warriors on the back end of a back-to-back. John Nelson thought about calling a timeout. Hopped up off the bench, and Barron will get to the line.
If you notice, Baron Davis had to tell Mikal Petrus to make a cut through. Now Don's talking to him. He is being defended, Mikal Petrus, by Kevin Garnett. If you stand and let Garnett just zone up in there, you're playing right into their hands. I think it's very important for Mikal Petrus to keep moving at all times. So now Barron is going to say, cut through. Finally he does, but Garnett is still lurking. And that's why you can take him to the other side of the court, and then maybe you get the shot.
Well, that's the key. If he cuts through and Garnett doesn't follow him, Petrus will shoot a multitude of open corner threes. That will be the difference. If Garnett doesn't follow Petrus in the corners, that's where Mikal can really hurt them hitting triples. But if Garnett stays there, the Warriors will never get to the rim.
Yeah, and you can certainly be unselfish, clearing yourself out, and all of a sudden end up with the ball in your hands ready for a shot.
Barron hits both free throws, and the Warriors finally on the board.
Well, Garnett runs over Davis, and Davis picks up the block.
Barron can't believe it. Neither can Nelly.
Fourth team foul. We've yet to play 4 full minutes. And yet the Warriors only down by 3.
Yeah, you couldn't have a rougher 4 minutes to begin a ball game, and yet you'll take the 3-point deficit.
Kinder's open, and Beavers is helping zone up. Now you can't go behind the screen. Kalina made a mistake there, but almost a moving pick.
Ray Allen, the deep 2. Allen had been 18 of 51 the last 3 games. Peters down the lane, and Perkins, that's his job. Defending the rim there.
No problem there. I love the move and the attempted finish by McHale. Takes it strongly. You're going to get some block. Don't worry about it.
Rookie from the baseline. Barron went for the rebound, but he tipped it out of bounds. So the Warriors 0 for 8 from the field.
We talked about that stifling Boston Celtics defense. The number one, you mentioned it, field goal percentage. They're holding opponents to just about 41%. Warriors right now, well, they're at 0.
The Warriors score 109. Celtics give up 89. So something's got to give tonight. Perkins, nice delivery to Garnett. Henry Perkins has made a couple nice passes in the early going, and he's had a block.
Well, they haven't had a player in the middle like Garnett since they had Robert Parrish.
Oh, what a take by Steven Jackson. I'm going to face up and ISO Garnett and take him right to the rim.
Shot that with the left hand. He got it up quickly.
Pierce answering.
What a luxury for Paul Pierce after all of these years. You know, they went to the Eastern Conference Finals back in 2001.
Steven Jackson tickled the 10 and went out. Pierce in motion. Pierce up and in, and the foul. So Allen is hit. Garnett has worked inside. Pierce goes to the rim, and the all-star play is on display.
This is one reason that Paul Pierce is still averaging over 22 a game with this team, with Ray Allen and Garnett over 20, because he can get to the free throw line with more frequency.
Warriors will use a timeout. 6:47 remaining in the first. Celtics beginning the game as good as advertised. David Ortiz, Big Poppy, is a Celtics fan, and why not? Patriots, the Celtics, the Red Sox, Boston College, and New England sports are on fire. Kevin Garnett, never knew he was a Celtics fan until he was traded here. Paul Pierce, official sponsor of the timeout, is Corona. He was actually born in Oakland. Remember, he slid in the draft coming out of Kansas. Magic was his favorite player, much like Barron, and that's why they host the Midsummer Celebrity Classic charity game in LA.
And of course, Paul Pierce, all these years leading the Celtics, obviously their best player. He used to have to work so hard for the points, and I said that earlier, what a luxury to have Ray Allen and Garnett take that pressure off you, so you get points and the same number of points and with less exertion.
They all score in different ways. Allen, a perimeter shooter. Pierce can take you to the rim, and Garnett's the unselfish one.
He is so unselfish. Isn't he? He must be a pleasure to play with.
Monte Ellis, his first playing time, and his first shot is down. Now the Warriors could use a huge game from Monte.
Yes, and he could be a difference maker. But what a great move by Monte, not only making the shot, but he gave Baron Davis a target, because Baron was in a little bit of trouble there in the middle.
Celtics have made their last 5 shots. And Baron knocking it away. Baron in a foot race, he's got an easy one.
He just kind of tested to see if he could get over the rim there to see how much he had left from last night. I'm serious. He just said, okay, you know, I'm going to go up. I'm not going to try to dunk it. I'm going to make sure I make it, but I'm going to stretch it a little bit.
You always say that back-to-back's more mental than physical. You kind of get your juices flowing a little bit, get mentally into the game.
That was a travel. He took an extra step. The defender went right in front of him, disrupted it, and he got away with it.
Ray Allen's got 6. Garnett 5, Pierce 4. That's the shot right there. Peters, he starts hitting those threes. The Warriors are going to have a shot.
Don't say that's the shot until after he makes that one. I'm thinking the same thing, but he's had two of them roll out.
How about Monte with the steal? Monte on Rondo, quick on quick. All right, that's the shot, the layup.
It's like the free throw. All of a sudden, I was thinking free throws.
Okay, now
I'm not going to mention anything. I'm very superstitious tonight.
You know what the Achilles heel of the Celtics? The Warriors commit the fewest turnovers in the league. Celtics are 25th. Monte.
Oh, come on. 2-on-1. Give that ball to Barron and let him get a little layup.
Barron misses the three, and the Warriors do not execute the open floor.
You've got to split that lone defender.
The Warriors are 4 of 15 shooting. Celtics are 7 of 11. And there is another turnover.
Barron looks like he's playing like he was against the Knicks last night right now.
Jackson, can they get anything from the perimeter? Unfortunately, as poorly as the Warriors have shot, only 25%, they're down only 5. And Doc Rivers is going to call timeout because the Warriors have forced 3 consecutive turnovers. But you need to turn the turnovers into points.
And you got to convert in the open court when you have a run out like they did.
4:20 remaining in the first. Kind of a skittish start for the Warriors, but they are in the ball game. The defense has been good, but the execution offensively needs to be there. By 5 with 4:20 remaining in the first quarter. We head to the baseline of Matt Steinmetz. And Matt, the Warriors practice is pretty lighthearted, and actually an example is floating around on YouTube now.
You know, Don Nelson said that he was looking forward to this trip because it was going to give the team an opportunity to bond, an opportunity to get tighter, and we saw that at a practice in New York earlier this week. Steven Jackson with some low post moves. Very interesting drop step in the lane right there. That was the shin kick jump shot. We also saw a little later, a little Barron shooting around in a laundry basket. Yeah, they're having fun, guys.
Ray Allen missing from the corner. And Barron, transition 3. Warriors 0 for 5 from beyond the arc and 4 of 17 in the game. Here's a nifty delivery.
And again, Don's got to talk to Andres Biedrins about that last defensive play. Don't try to take a charge. And Pierce can go right around you. Just move with him. Go up, make him change his shot. Make him think about you. That's what Bill Russell, the greatest Celtic of them all, used to do.
Peters and Monte with Barron, Jackson, and Andres.
You've got an advantage with size, and take advantage of that.
You can see why the Celtics would be a good defensive team, because you can't drive inside on it. And if you're not hitting perimeter jumpers.
Remember what they did with Garnett, playing up top. They can play him out there. He can set screens. He can roll to the hoop.
Perkins inside, and he draws the foul. So Andres now with 2 fouls. Steven Jackson with 2 fouls.
Well, they just kept everybody busy, and then Andres Biedrins gets to looking at the ball to see where he can help out, and that's where Perkins gets positioned inside. Actually got that ball inside of Andres Biedrins and just induced the foul.
Kendrick Perkins out of Beaumont, Texas, drafted out of high school with 27th pick in 03. Has been primarily just a defensive player rebounder, but fits in perfectly with the 3 scoring all-stars. Not a good foul shooter, career at 61%.
Then they drafted another high school kid, Al Jefferson, after that.
Well, he was the centerpiece of the Garnett trade, but I don't know that was merely value for value.
Well, it had to do with age also.
And money. And draft picks. Monte has picked up the dribble. Clock at 8. Going to get to Biedrins inside. So the Warriors, by the passing and the initial drive, able to finally get something at the rim.
Yeah, and you can just see, though, it sure did not come easily.
Where Jackson's got 2 fouls.
Pierce knows that.
Rondo.
He has not shown he has an outside shot.
Pierce working the offensive glass.
Pierce is having a big night.
You know, Paul Pierce looks thicker than normal. And he's been working it inside as Allen steals the outlet. The Warriors are just sloppy. I mean, offensively, this has been their worst quarter we have seen in a long, long time. Tay, tough runner.
Over the outstretched arms. Nothing is coming easy for this club right now. That is a stifling defense.
Still a single-digit ball game, though. If you looking at the score, you'd think the Celtics were up 20 points.
They're working on Steven with those 2 fouls.
And here's the big bunny hop jump stop, and he traveled. That will get James Posey into the ball game. And Scott Pollard. So Perkins and Garnett sit. Posey's an excellent defender, but Pollard is not Garnett on the defensive end.
Well, also, they get smaller a little bit. So they give up something in size and scoring ability. Now, Posey can shoot from the outside. You know that. They go right inside and immediately do so with success.
Great awareness by the Warriors there. No Garnett. Get Biedrins going.
Good recognition, good call from the sideline.
Ray Allen, long rebound. Petrus, very athletic pull.
Just got to get the ball out a little quicker. He has to not look around for somebody, but look around as he takes one dribble out so that he can accomplish 2 things in the same play. Previous basket, they just flash Biedrins into the middle. Pollard disrupts it momentarily, but a good recovery and finish.
Monte 6 off the bench, leading the Warriors. Aaron is 1 of 5, and the Warriors are shooting 31% as a team. But it's only a 6-point game.
They'll give him those shots, that's all right.
And now Rondo, as you said, he's not taking a 3 all season, but he is shooting the ball percentage-wise very well. Monte missed, the long rebound to Jackson, his 3.
That's a longer 3.
Warriors yet to hit a 3. That's shades of last night.
That's why I had that one of the keys. If they were shooting him well.
Jackson, I believe, is going to pick up his 3rd foul. 3 fouls in the first quarter by Steven Jackson.
Doc Rivers off the bench there. And he was worried that Dick Nevada was going to make the call the other way. And Dick Nevada pointed to him and said, let me make the call before you get all excited. And Steven Jackson, not only the 3 fouls, but a rough shooting night, 1 of 6 so far.
Scott Pollard has been with Detroit, Sacramento, Indiana, and Cleveland. With no cap room really to spare, the Celtics went shopping at kind of a bunch of veteran minimum players.
The bargain basement? I'll tell you what, he fell into something good here, didn't he?
Yeah, I'm going to back up for Kendrick Perkins and play with Garnett, Ray Allen, and Paul Pierce. It's not bad. Monte, back iron strong, and now the Celtics with a 4-second differential will milk the clock.
You can see, though, playing as Monte did last night, and the number of minutes they played, 26, he still has a lot of life in those legs tonight.
Now with 5 to shoot, Rondo will get moving. In the corner, Posey. And Pollard had that knocked away with 2.8 left. Now Posey had been shooting 50% on 3s. Another player that used part of the mid-level exception to grab him. Allen springing free. The Warriors fortunate. They come up with a stop to end the quarter. A quarter they would just as soon see end. Boston shoots it at 55%. The Warriors held only 16 points, shooting it at 28%. And all in all, the fact that it's a single-digit game, the Warriors will take it. Beginning the second quarter, Bob Fitzgerald, Jim Barnett, Matt Steinmetz with you. In Boston, Hayward High's Eddie House has checked in with Tony Allen, Ray Allen, James Posey, and Scott Pollard. Zabuki, Petrus, Marco Bellinelli with Monte Ellis and Biedrins for the Warriors. Posey's the shot clock winding down. Very good Warrior defense. Now you rarely see Barron and Steven Jackson sitting at the same time, but they had very rough first quarters.
That's as good a look as you'd ever get. And Kalina, who struggled last night, 1 of 5 from three-point range. That's his first attempt tonight, and he was wide open. Unfortunately, did not go down.
Ray Allen rattling it out.
I like the aggressiveness already of Marco Bellinelli. He's moving, and I think that he is poised for a pretty good night, too, if they can get the ball to him.
As you said, Azubuike has had back-to-back really good looks.
Bellinelli took a nice 3 last night. He knows he's got to play a little stronger and stay on that floor. And he has an opportunity tonight.
Ray Allen driving at his pocket pick. Shot clock at 7. Got to make the Celtics pay when Pierce and Garnett sit. Eddie House missing and Petrus with the rebound.
They weren't ready to run, though. They stood as they could see that rebound was going into a blue jersey's hand. Allen crowding Bellinelli.
Go down the lane, putting it up and in. And let's count the bucket. There's a blocking foul.
How about that? That's the best drive we've seen him convert in the first 9 games, and does it with the left hand. He crowds. Ray Allen does. So Bellinelli just takes him off the dribble. Very easy move and a terrific finish. And that's got to boost his confidence a little bit.
These are his first career free throw, as he'll shoot 1. Austin Crozier, our all-access guest, getting his first playing time. Bellinelli knocks in his first NBA free throw.
So he's the Warriors' best free throw shooter. Hasn't missed all year, shooting 100%.
That's why I like you.
That's a great analyzation, don't you?
I tell you what, Monty Python always said, always look on the bright side of life. There's something to be said there. Pollard blocked by Petrus, but body contact as he committed the foul.
I'd love to see that and see if he took a nice big step before he dribbled the ball. It was not Garnett-esque move, if you will.
Scott Pollard always keeps you entertained with the hairstyles, the facial hair. You never know what he's going to pull out. KFC, the Colonel's Corner. That will be with the Houston Rockets November 29th. Get a Warrior ticket and a 2-piece meal from KFC for just $25. Log on to Warriors.com or 888-GSW-HOOP and press 1 for more info. And what a week when the Warriors get back, Jim. Phoenix
on Monday night
at SAC, and then Yao Ming, McGrady, and the Rockets. Let me go up to Seattle that weekend. Warriors are in a stretch where they play 17 of 26 on the road.
Well, the Rockets start out pretty well this year, and then they kind of slumped a little bit. They're now 6-5. Lost 4 in a row. So they were a little better off early in the season.
Austin's had it as high as 10. The Warriors down 7. Monte will get himself to the line. What's good here is Bellinelli drives. Monte drives. They threw it into Beatrice to score on Pollard. Get away from just casting jumpers and try to take it inside.
You can see they're having much more success with Garnett off the floor. And just as I say that, as you see Monte do a good job of making sure he got the contact, Garnett re-enters the game. So they don't wait too long.
And Brian Scalabrine gets his first playing time.
And Scalabrine is one of those players that can shoot the basketball.
Out of USC, had played for the New Jersey Nets, but he was here a year ago when the Celtics won 24 games, and in 05 he singed the Warriors for his career best. Monte missing the first free throw.
It's getting to be an old story.
Well, Ellis's
Monte shooting from the free throw line.
Ellis's free throwing is very puzzling because he shot 76% last year,
and this year he's at 66%.
But still, the Warriors staying within striking distance, down only 6.
No question about it. They've gone to a little zone here. That's a switching man-to-man.
Beatrice again trying to front Garnett. There's Crozier coming to help.
Well, they made him come out further. That was good.
And getting inside, and James Posey will get to the line.
That was their best defensive stance, I thought, on Garnett since he's been in the game. And then unfortunately, they get it inside. It was darn near perfect, but at the end, it kind of broke down. See, Garnett's off the block. Good help from Crozier. He just couldn't recover in time. And Azubuike came over to help.
So James Posey, who had been with Denver, a couple years in Memphis, last 2 years in Miami. Warriors had talked to Posey during the offseason. They were looking at free agents. Very good defender and can be a lights-out three-point shooter on occasion. And with this team, you're going to shoot a lot of open threes.
He's got pretty good size too, Bob. That helps him as a defender because he's active, but yet he's got long arms and can run the floor.
So Posey hits both free throws. Petrus can take Scalabrine, and he does just that. Get himself to the line. Steven Jackson is coming in for Petrus. He will wait at the scorer's table.
That's his first personal, third team foul.
I think the Celtics, their first big accomplishment in that first quarter was getting the 3 fouls on Steven Jackson. Comcast On Demand, all Warrior games available a half hour after the game. You missed the game, you want to watch it again? That's what On Demand is perfect for.
Yeah, your kids might still, be at school or after school activities, Bob, and yet those 3 youngsters of yours can come home and they can watch the Open later on around 7:30.
I think my kids are just happy when I'm out of town. They get away with much more with their mother than when Dad's home.
You don't seem to me to be the disciplinarian for some reason.
Petrus, 1 out of 2. Garnett, who had the deeper position this time. And you spotted it early, Jim. If you can push him off the block, which is easier said than done for Petrus.
Yeah, because he's so active. And how are you going to stop that? Particularly if you're only 6'6". Petrus has to make him pay at this end.
Azubuike went over the back, and Michael has yet to make a field goal. He's 0 for 5.
This is my whole philosophy, and I was going to say it when we were on air before the game, Bob, is you throw everything out, you never know how it's going to unfold because you just don't know how to play against this club yet. Because, believe it or not, they're still figuring out how to play with each other.
Sure.
Okay, and they're going to be better, after the All-Star break, certainly even as they grow together. But, Garnett moves better than any man his size in the league. And he can throw over the top. He's tough to double because he can find other people.
Tony Allen knocks down the jumper. Good ball movement by the Celtics. This is their largest lead right now.
Heck, they'd win a few games if I played 20 minutes once in a while for them.
Bellinelli catch and shoot.
I think they may need to make a better effort of getting Bellinelli the ball more often rather than him not touching it for 2 or 3 minutes. And then all of a sudden, when he gets it, he feels like he doesn't get a lot of minutes, so he's going to shoot it. They need to integrate him into the offense and blend him in there.
Eddie House hitting the jumper. The 8-1 Boston run. Monte down the lane. Finish with the left hand.
What a beautiful move. And he go back and forth, keeps the defense guessing, and then strikes with that incredible surge to the hoop.
Garnett, remember, Jackson's got 3 fouls. Eddie House, once he starts to light it up, you're in trouble, but Azubuike can't clear the long rebound.
Those are the footsteps of Garnett that you feel behind you.
7:47 remaining in the first half. The Celtics are good, but the Warriors cannot get out of their own way offensively. And KG from deep position, very dangerous. And Monte, what a finish. The Warriors will have Thanksgiving off tomorrow as they trail by 11. And then head off to the nation's capital, Washington, D.C. In the news this afternoon, Gilbert Arenas will undergo surgery again and be out up to 3 months. So it's Antoine Jamison, Caron Butler, and the Wizards. That's just a lightning bolt of injury news. It doesn't help them at all.
Not in the least. And remember, he is a restricted, or he could opt out of his contract after this year and be a free agent. Bob, interestingly enough, the starters for the Warriors average 85.6 points a game this season. That's the most of any team in the league. The Celtics are behind by about 5 points. They're 4th in the league. Starters scoring tonight, Celtics 26, Warriors 11.
Yep. Garnett Garnett missing. Tapping the rebound out. So Eddie House and Scalabrine, Tony Allen with Posey and Garnett. Doc Rivers resting Pierce, resting Ray Allen. Going over the top, and there is Garnett as the distributor. And House in the open three. So you mentioned how you're going to have teams learn how to play with each other. That's the first made three of the ball game by either team. And part of it is into Garnett and then rotate around the shooters.
What a luxury to have him in there because he commands so much attention. He demands it and he earns it. Monte's been their most prolific scorer here lately. Let's see if he can get something going. He needs it with 1 second to go. They waited too long. See, when he got the ball with his back to the basket, he needed to look at the other end to see what it said on the board.
Garnett again. This is when the Celtics are at their best.
Well, Garnett doesn't usually shoot this much, but you know what? He's still going on adrenaline with this home crowd.
A 13-3 Boston run. The Warriors are shooting 28% for the game. And so regardless of how well Boston is playing, the Warriors offensively just have not shown up yet in the game and trail by 16.
Well, I mean, you knew they were going to be a good offensive team with a big three, but we're finding out they lead the league in field goal percentage, defense, and points allowed. There's a lot of reasons for that, even though they're not traditionally a good defensive team. The first thing is Kevin Garnett is a great defensive rebounder. That means he limits second shots, which limits the opponent's points. The other thing is they're playing a lot more half court now because they're going down low to Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce, and it doesn't hurt either when you've played the Nets twice and the Miami Heat once, the two worst offensive teams in the league.
I think good perspective there, Matt. As Baron Davis gets it to DJ Benga, missing the layup. Benga's first playing time, and Azubuike called for the travel. I think Garnett makes you a better defensive team already, but you look around, other than Posey, there's not a lot of great defenders on the Celtics, but I think that Rajon Rondo and the ability to stop penetrators is also a key factor.
But Garnett's always been a great shot blocker, and when he's in the middle, he's almost like two men in there because he's got such length and quickness, and he works hard. There's nobody works harder than Garnett in the entire NBA.
Then you have Garnett and Perkins, so you have two legitimate big bodies near the rim. Jackson driving. Davis back in. Warriors mount any kind of surge here in the second half of the second quarter. They're having it knocked away. So Baron Davis and Jackson, Benga with Monte Ellis and Azubuike.
Garnett took a look at the shot clock.
Setting up Scalabrine, catch and shoot. And he drops in a three. That's all because of the attention paid to Garnett.
And Garnett makes a move, makes people move defensively. Jackson.
Finally a perimeter jumper by the Warriors. Boston got down 20 against Orlando and came all the way back. They lead the Warriors by 17 now. But you see the turnovers. They come in bunches for the Celtics.
Doc Rivers doesn't like that from Tony Allen.
Only 4 teams are worse in terms of turning the ball over than Boston.
It's tough to shoot over Garnett because of his length. He just closed out.
Monte over Pierce.
Monte has a good offensive flow going tonight. Monte
is the only Warrior who is scoring. He's got 11 points on 5 of 8 shooting. No one else has more than
4. You can see the energy that he possesses tonight.
Garnett was grabbed off the ball. DJ Benga will pick up the foul.
Now this move by Monte Ellis going against Pierce and Garnett there, who never really closed, but I mean, Pierce recovered perfectly, but with his quickness up in the air, Monte Ellis can separate from a defender in that little fadeaway jump shot, and he almost prefers shooting it going to the left now.
The Warriors' whole goal here is to have it single digits by halftime. Some way, somehow, come to life offensively. Shot clock at 3. Garnett on Benga. Breaking up and in. What a tough move. We've seen it so many times.
Well, he just doesn't miss many shots, does he?
Garnett, 11 points. Jackson Jackson inside. That one knocked out to the corner. Garnett, 8th in the league in field goal percentage. Rondo's 4th, and Biedrich is number 1. So you have 3 of the top 8 players.
And Rondo's not a great shooter.
No, that's shooting a lot of layups. There's another turnover. Eddie House having to take it away. See, all the Celtics got back nicely on defense. Bellinelli trail jumper.
I like that move for him, though.
Benga tracking it down. Jackson, can the Warriors get a 3? Finally! And Steven Jackson drops in the triple.
That is a big shot there, because now you have 3.5 minutes to work into that 14-point deficit. You miss that one, you're still down by 17 with them having the ball.
2 nights in a row on the East Coast, the Warriors' 3-point shooting hasn't been there.
Doc Rivers just goes right at the 3 fouls on Jackson.
He airballed that, and Barron had to grab Pierce.
Pierce sure knows how to get to the line still, doesn't he? He just has a nose for the ball.
Pierce is a lot bigger than you think. I mean, he's 6'6", but he's 230 pounds. Built more like a very large tight end. The ticket timeout when the Warriors come back. Save $13 as the ticket started just $27. The Phoenix Suns in town. Log on to Warriors.com. Call 888-GSW-HOOP. And be there courtesy of the ticket timeout. The Warriors Suns games are just so much fun. Last year's amazing back and forth battles. And he throws down. Doubling Barron off the ball. Jackson's had a couple telegraph passes.
The second bad pass tonight that had no chance I've seen from Steven.
Nelly, good closeout. They want Pierce on Monte. Celtics moving the ball. And Pierce went over the back of Baron Davis, committed the foul.
Ray Allen has yet to make a 3 tonight. Now, he hasn't attempted that many, but he's made more 3s than anybody against the Warriors in the last 15 years.
So 2:46, the mandatory timeout. Warriors are down 16. They have not come alive offensively. Can they get it to single digits by halftime? Celtics up 16. Pierce and Garnett together have combined for 21. And great shooting, 4 of 5 and 5 of 7. And that's one thing with multiple All-Stars, Jim. They don't all 3 have to be clicking on a given night.
No, in fact, if you look back at that overtime win at Toronto, Paul Pierce had a horrendous shooting night, something like 3 of 14, and yet they still won that game in overtime. Allen had 33, and that's the most scored by any Celtic player this year. That's how balanced they are.
So now with 2:46 left in the half, Celtics want to try to put the Warriors away. Warriors trying to dig in on the back end of a back-to-back and find their shooting legs.
Well, as we know, 16-point deficit, it's nothing in the NBA, and particularly the Warriors have been shooting 30%, including 1 of 12 from 3-point range.
Monte Ellis, Bellinelli, Benga, Barron, and Jackson.
That's a good skip pass, and this might go in. It just...
Marco got his own rebound, and then out of bounds to the Warriors.
That was a good look for Marco, and I guarantee you he thought it was in. Just off the back of the iron. He's getting some looks tonight, though. Sorry, Bob.
He is. I mean, Bellinelli's 1 of 4.
But he's getting some looks and being aggressive with it. I like that.
Benga inside. That's found money right there.
Well, he looks a lot smoother just from last night's finish, doesn't he? Coming off that knee surgery, he's got a heavy brace on it. Benga does.
Said, could they get it to single digits? Garnett, just the catch was impressive, but missed the shot, and Barron with the rebound.
Yeah, they thought they had a turnover there and a steal, but Garnett didn't let him do it. Barron is fouled on the floor.
The Celtics are over the limit, so that'll be free throws.
That last play by Garnett is impressive. We'll talk about that in a moment. Now the defense by this big fellow the Warriors just signed. Garnett thought about it, but in most situations, not many players in the league could catch that ball and make something out of it. The Warriors would have a steal going the other way like they did last night.
So Barron's 1 of 6. Jackson's 3 of 10. Bellinelli's 1 of 4. Azubuike's 0 for 4. And yet the Warriors haven't been just completely sent away yet.
Not by a long shot.
You got to think that eventually percentages are going to right themselves offensively.
So far, the Celtics haven't seen the Warriors' best game. We know that.
Clock at 9. Ricochet to Perkins. Rondo in on Benga, and Perkins able to follow it in.
They put Garnett up top, so little men are playing inside of that.
Down the lane, but couldn't finish. Net had Azubuike at his mercy, but Monte Ellis with a quick hit. There's another Celtic turnover. The alley-oop for Benga, and he couldn't guide it in.
Just grab it and stuff it.
Here's, that's a very rough 4-point sequence. He had a wide open dunk on one end and give up the layup the other.
It's a killer with just over a minute to go.
Through traffic, couldn't quite reverse it.
We got 2-on-1.
And inside, tough shot. Ray Allen the rebound. And there's Monte again.
Where would they be without him tonight?
Barron from deep, and that's a 3.
Barron is huffing and puffing right now. He's tired. He couldn't even run down that last break after Monte got it. But that was a big play right there. Now the Celtics can't quite close out the half with the shot clock working.
Shot clock down to 5. The skip pass. Rondo. Another turnover and out of bounds. It's a 24-second violation.
They're fortunate because that ball was going out of bounds. It was deflected by Marco. And Doc Rivers is saying, wasn't it out of bounds before the clock ran out?
Well, how about 13 turnovers for Boston in the first half?
And the Warriors just haven't taken advantage enough like they did last night.
14 points off of those turnovers, but Warriors shooting 30% for the half. Azubuike on Garnett. Jumper is a miss. That's just been the story the entire evening for the Warriors. Lena's 0 for 5. Barron's 2 of 9. Jackson's 3 of 10. Petrus 0 for 5.
Celtics aren't even going to look to throw down here. If I were them, I'd throw Garnett underneath the basket and throw a long one. They're not even going to try.
So it's not single digits, but it's not a 25-point deficit either. The Warriors are down 13, and they can play so much better, and we have seen it in recent games. So Boston puts up 50. They turn it over 13 times. Warriors trying to get on track defensively against the best defense in the NBA, trailing by 13 as we hit the break. Getting ready to start the second half, and I'm going to get you one of those hats, Jim. I was thinking about a Christmas gift. I think that'd be terrific for you.
I played here in Boston, but it's been so long, okay? I think all the Irish has run out of me.
I got enough Irish for both of us.
Yes, you do.
Starting the second half.
Let's see if the Warriors have some Irish in them.
There you go.
Get going.
Need a little bit of that. Hey! Rondo. That's why he is the 4th leading field goal percentage shooter in the NBA.
That's good deductive reasoning, isn't it? Look at that kid.
Rajon Rondo. Not Rajon anymore. Rajon is changing it for this year. Deandrin blocked from behind by Perkins. So Kendrick Perkins, Garnett, Ray Allen, Rajon Rondo, Kevin Garnett. Garnett missing there, but Perkins working. Barron nearly had the rebound. Baron Davis Jackson with Beatrice Petrus and Monte Ellis getting the second half start with Azubuike sitting. Celtics are led by as many as 19. Warriors have never led in the game. Clock at 8, and Peters knocking it away. Clock at 3. Pierce in trouble, getting it up. Monte tipping to an open space, but he stepped out of bounds.
Well, if he can't chase that one down, nobody can in this league. Did his best to try to get there and do a little tightrope. But the Celtics now their third chance since opening the half. Another possession.
The only positive for the Warriors is they force those 13 Boston turnovers, but you shoot 29% of the road, you're not going to beat anybody.
Yeah, they're not making a pay. Well, Garnett finally gets his long shot of the night to go. Garnett's taken 10 shots, as has Ray Allen.
Perkins is behind Allen to help out on Jackson. They know he likes to drive. And Steven Jackson will get himself to the foul line. Well, obviously Boston, with all that time off after the Orlando loss, scouting Steven Jackson and putting extra defenders, make sure he didn't get into the lane and he could kind of dice up your defense. Jackson's free throw is good. You can log on to fsnbayarea.com. Check out all the latest features. Get an email before every broadcast with the latest Warrior development, stats, and keys to the upcoming games. So the Warriors have like a 10-0 run in them. That's going to be the question on the back end of a back-to-back tonight. That pass, another wild turnover. They're in a trail 3. We'll call it a pass to Monte Ellis, who lays it up and in.
Now that's the second time Monte has had early offense, actually a fast break and thrown it back. I still don't like that. I like it going to the basket to see what you can get as far as penetration until someone stops you. It works out there, and that's why he started the second half in place of Azubuike, who was yet to score in the game, and Monte was their best offensive player. Ray Allen knows how to draw a foul right there.
Monte will pick up the personal, and Allen to the line.
The
question in putting these guys together, you know, Allen 32, Garnett 31, and Pierce is 30, is how many productive years do you think you get out of this trio?
Well, and they're all signed, only guaranteed over the next 3 years. Okay, that was part of the deal with Garnett. But certainly they're going to have 3 good years, and that's all they're thinking about. They're not thinking of the past. They're not thinking of the future. They are thinking of the present.
And the interesting thing will be, you don't really have draft picks because you sent one to Minnesota. You don't really have cap room because you're spending a lot of money on the 3 stars. So this is kind of your team.
Yep. Garnett's got that 3-year contract that'll top out of about 60 mil.
Yeah, I think he took a discount for 56. No, Kevin Garnett had 2 nearly $100 million deals. He's done okay for himself. Jackson missing.
Well, they have absolutely neutralized Biedrins on the boards tonight.
Well, Monte is 6 of 9 as we have an offensive foul on Perkins. The rest of the Warriors are 9 of 42.
And that works out to not much better than 25%. In fact, a little under that, not much better than 20%. Peters, good at drawing fouls, does so on the big fella Kendrick Perkins, who's now 5 years in the league out of high school, so he's learning how to play.
That is the Celtics' 15th turnover. The Warriors are coming up with stops. You score 109 and you're stuck on 41 into the third. I mean, the offense has been the issue tonight.
Well, they've cut away the penetration for the most part, except for Monte Ellis. They've really bottled up Baron Davis tonight. He's 2 of 10.
And the 3-point shooting that absolutely had to be there tonight is 2 of 15 as a team. ISO'd on Jackson. The whistle as the drive began. Jackson picked up 3 fouls in the first quarter, and now picks up his fourth right there.
And you're going to see Pierce go to the line. He knows how to work a foul, particularly when he's driving to the hoop and terminates that dribble. He just knows how to continue and get three-point play possibilities. You know, twice in his career, Bob, he's shot over 700 free throws in a season.
Always around 9 or 10 a game.
One time, 750 some free throws in a season.
It's one thing to get to the line, but Pierce is such a good free throw shooter. As Don Nelson's going to use a timeout here. 8:36 remaining in the third. The Warriors looking for some energy, looking for some offense, shooting 29% and down 15 points. Celtics up 15 with 8:36 remaining in the third. So much history when you come to Boston. And you think of players and coaches and guys that played and coached and became a broadcaster. 51 years in the Celtic organization.
8 championship teams. The NBA's Rookie of the Year in 1957.
The running hook, you gotta like that for the baseline.
He just was a guy that shot the basketball and loved to score. As I said, only played 9 years, 6 NBA All-Star appearances, and former coach of the Celtics also.
You think of Tommy Heinsohn with the Celtics and our own Alvin Adels with the Warriors in terms of length of tenure with the franchise. And for so long, Rudy Tomjanovich with the Rockets.
Went to the same school as Bob Cousy, Holy Cross. Cousy, the great Celtic, Hall of Famer also.
Pierce hitting that second free throw. So Pierce has 13, Garnett 13, Ray Allen 10, Monte Ellis 13, and no other Warrior in double figures.
4 Celtics have more rebounds than any one rebounding Warrior. And by the way, Mikael Pietrus leads the Warriors rebounders with 4.
Yeah, but a lot of that is because the Warriors are 15 of 51. There's tons of defensive rebounds tonight.
Yes, and there are tons of offensive rebounds to be had, but they just wall off in there. A lot of rebounds, but still only 4 rebounds by Mikael Pietrus. I said they're just neutralizing Andris Biedrins, who's been rebounding so well lately, averaging over 10 a game, and more than that over the past 3. He only has 3 tonight.
The Holiday Hoop mini plans. These same Celtics, Iverson, Carmelo, Nash, Kobe. All the new Club 200, 4 games plus a $10 Adidas gift card, just $99. So log on to Warriors.com or 888-GSW-HOOP and press 1. Operators ready to help you right now.
Warriors are shooting their free throws well tonight. That's the one positive.
Barron 6 of 6. Warriors 11 of 13 as a team.
Last night, that would have been a steal. Ray Allen gets his first 3 of the night. That's 78 threes he's made against the Warriors in the last 15 years. That's more than any other player in the league. But Barron couldn't even come up with that steal. Last night, he was taking that ball out of the hands all the time against the Knicks.
And Jackson having knocked away. Rondo will reward Perkins. You always hear coaches say be strong with the ball. Kevin Garnett is strong with the ball. You're not going to flip it away from him. And Pietrus will get a 3-point play.
Reach in by Rondo.
That was Mikel's first field goal. Slapped on the arm and continue with the shooting motion.
Foul is on number 9, Rajon Rondo, his third personal.
It's interesting because that just sums it all up when Garnett got the ball there. And one of the keys I had was digging into the post, but I also talked to the coaching staff before the game, and I knew that was also just may go out the window because Garnett gets out of a double team probably better than any post player in the league.
And Allen moves beautifully without the ball to make himself available.
Garnett can handle it. Also, there's that Magic Johnson. He can just throw over the top of you.
There's Allen again. Biedrins.
He missed.
Get anything off and running.
He missed Monte, but then they still get Pietrus on the dunk. It wasn't a classic fast break. It took a long time to materialize, and they still had the advantage.
But it's only a 15-point game. There's 7 minutes left in the third. In an NBA game, That is nothing. 10-0 run by the Warriors, and this will be 4 points in a row. And you can get back in the ball game. The Celtics are turning the ball over
at an alarming rate.
They have 16 turnovers. The Warriors are shooting 33%. Any kind of offense, and this could be a ball game. Doc Rivers takes the timeout with 6:50 remaining in the third. So the Warriors digging in a bit defensively. And when they do get the steals, good things happen. Warriors down 13, 6:50 remaining in the third. We head to the baseline to Matt Steinmetz. And Matt, a lot of the Warriors on this trip trying to keep tabs on Matt Barnes and his mom while they're back at home.
Yeah, we know he's back in Sacramento, tending to his ailing mom, but I talked to Baron Davis and Steven Jackson today, his two other co-captains, and they say they've been texting and talking to him quite frequently in the past week. And Steven Jackson had a message for him that he knows he's got to take care of his family back in Sacramento, but he shouldn't worry about his basketball family because they'll take care of that for him, and they just wish him the best, say he's with them in spirit, and can't wait till he gets back.
The whole Warrior organization echoes that. Matt is really popular among the teammates. He's a great guy to have on the team, and you feel for him and his family and wish them the best.
And let's not forget about Al Harrington either, who's not with the team for personal reasons.
Here's for the dunk coming out of the timeout.
And they could use both those guys tonight. That's another statement.
Well, it's going to happen at some point where the Warriors have their whole roster. It's going to be a lot of fun as Barron misses off the backboard. Ray Allen is fouled. They played without Jackson, played without Petrus, playing without Barnes, playing without Harrington.
Had a little bit of an angle on Barron. Barron could not quite catch up and tried to get clear, and Ray Allen just jumped into him, and it is a blocking foul. And Allen ended up on the left side of his run. This guy is, to me, this player is just one of the classiest players in the league, always has been. He's the quiet one, you see. He's the quiet person. Garnett is the electric personality on this group. So it's a nice little combo, and they balance each other.
Well, he is second in all-time threes made behind Reggie Miller.
Yes.
We had talked, so I'll mention the other half, but Tim Thomas has made 8 threes and a half, tied the NBA record. Mr. Allen also has made 8 threes and a half. Top 10 career free throw percentage in the NBA.
Shoots over 250 shots a day after practice on his own every day.
Steven Jackson will get himself to the line. While he shoots the free throws and Patrick O'Brien checks in, where do you see the Celtics in the balance of power? The Heat clearly have declined.
Right.
The Cavaliers have declined. I don't know what's going on with Chicago. And frankly, Detroit did not impress me when we saw them. Warriors should have beaten the Pistons.
Well, Orlando,
they're on the upswing.
With Rashard Lewis, they made a nice trade and acquired Maurice Evans, Brian Cook from the Los Angeles Lakers, and that's going to help them. They only gave up Trevor Ariza. Right now, Orlando has won 5 in a row. They're 10-2. Are they for real? That's the question. Other than that, though, it drops off significantly.
Yeah,
in the East.
I want to see, you know, the whole idea, oh, the East is better. It's like, not really.
Well, I'll tell you who the surprise team is? Charlotte. Charlotte at 6-4, Bob, and that's, you know, that puts them at like the 3rd best record in the East.
I think Orlando and Boston are legit. The other teams are finding out. Detroit will be good eventually. Patrick O'Brien did one really good thing on the rebound, then a second good thing looking down court, and just a little too much mustard on the pass.
Well, I'll tell you what, Barron didn't help him, though, because he wanted him to cut to the basket like a post pattern, and then I don't think he would have thrown it quite as high because he had to throw it over a defender, and if Barron had made a cut initially, that's what Patrick was looking for. Patrick's a very intelligent player. And so is Barron, of course, but he's been on the same page there.
Well, O'Brien, his length kind of bothered Garnett on that jumper.
I'm glad to see him in there. Try something here because everything it's been stagnant.
Petrus from deep, and there's a 3. So just when you think, okay, back-to-back, maybe it's not your night, you never know. All of a sudden, I mean, the Warriors just aren't going away.
What's that theme they had last year in the playoffs, Bob?
I think it was that we believe thing.
Yeah, well, that comes into play here, guys. Let's see if they can get some energy going and make some plays. Zone defense.
Ray Allen with a lefty runner, and Jackson with a rebound. Very good Warrior defense.
Made him a tough shot.
Monte from the baseline. And now the shots are dropping, and you've got a 10-point ball game.
You've got everything going here. I see a little more life, a little more hop in their steps out there.
Monte's got 17 on 8 of 11 shooting. Garnett, beautiful pass inside. They block Perkins. And I'll tell you why the Warriors are so mad. Dick Bavetta, the lead officials on the baseline, he chose not to call a foul. Violet Palmer came from behind to call the foul. And now you're going to have... See, Bavetta's in your screen. He did not blow the whistle. Violet Palmer blew the whistle from behind.
You didn't see what happened there. The right elbow of Perkins came up into the chin of Petrus. Now, is it accidental or not? Hard to speculate. Nope, it's on purpose.
So we're going to have a technical elbowing foul. And then I think Perkins is going to shoot 2 on the other end.
No harm meant there, just a little statement.
Jackson misses the free throw. Warriors are going to need every point tonight.
In the first half, they were 7 of 9. Petrus 1 of 3 tonight. Jackson's 4 of 5. That was his first miss.
Barron 6 of 6. But that would have been a nice block, even with the elbow, to go the other way.
Also, you wouldn't mind seeing that free throw because at least it would be single digits for, if only for a second. Well, it wouldn't be a second because there's no time off the clock, but in our minds it would be.
So that ends the 7-0 Warrior run. Perkins, the 61% free thrower, knocks them both down. Aaron 360, put it out of his hands, and Garnett had the good rebound.
And Garnett changed that shot. That's why he shot it on the way up.
Eddie House missing, long rebound. Pierce tracking it down. Perkins, good play, Patrick O'Brien. He saved a dunk. With the length and awareness. Perkins tried to pass it to KG, who was walking right down the lane. Now James Posey in, Kendrick Perkins out. Perkins 7 points, 7 boards. Perkins has 4 assists. So well, he's done a couple good things tonight.
Garnett makes him a better passer. They had a nice little 1-2 combination there.
There you go.
And see, Garnett is the key to their defense. He works so hard at that end. He just makes everybody else on that team come along with him. He just brings them along. And that's one reason they're better defensively this year.
A little delay as Garnett's shorts were coming down.
He actually pulled them down a little further than I think he intended to get the shirt tucked in better.
Pierce into Garnett. You're going to hear that a lot this year. As the Warriors had a chance to cut it to 9. Boston's answer, but there is more life in the Warriors. You can sense it.
Yep, and Baron Davis there. That was a beautiful drive as he zigzagged down the lane. And he knew Garnett was not in position to interfere.
Barron's got 11, Jackson 11. Monte leading the way with 17. Eddie House.
Inside out. Garnett. That's why he's averaging all the career high assists.
House has 8 off the bench, couple threes. Jackson inside, knocked away, and then still following his shot.
Stayed with the play. He knew he wasn't going to get the first one. That's why he stayed with it and just quickly covered the ball.
So 13-point Boston lead at halftime. 13 right now. The Warriors have started shooting the ball.
And the Celtics have had to wake up, and they know it.
Ray Allen and Draymond Green. He doesn't need much of an opening. Quick release.
And he shoots it just as well going left.
Jackson a 3 of his own.
In and out.
O'Brien the offensive rebound. Petrus from the corner. Eddie House. Bobbing away. Garnett just batted it out. Knew his teammates were deep.
That's where O'Brien will learn. He needs to get a body on Garnett. There was too much space there. There was an arm's length. If he goes back to the body, he would have had that rebound. As long as you're in front of him, between him and the basket, you're okay.
Boston really moving it around, finding shooters.
You know, Allen is not going to miss that after he hit that one a moment ago. That's going to be automatic.
So Ray Allen with 21, and just like that, a chance to cut it to 9, and it mushrooms up to 19.
As I said before, they're not playing the Knicks tonight. Everything has to work in tandem.
Jackson is fouled. Benga and Azubuike will check in. Ray Allen and Jackson get a little heated.
They're jawing a little bit. There's the second three from the same spot. This time catch and shoot. The other was off the dribble.
Well, the Warriors had that 7-0 run. Then Jackson missed the free throw. Since then, Boston a 13-4 run.
But don't you get the sense that, and I didn't say anything at the time, but it's a dangerous thing to say, but Garnett, we've seen him through the years. He's someone that can kind of turn it on and off.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yep. So, you know, it gets down to a 10-point game. All right, we're going to boost it back up again.
I think that Celtics kind of felt, hey, wait a minute, these guys are awakening. They're
right.
threatening a little bit, and then Boston put the foot on the accelerator.
Aren't many players and aren't many teams that can do that.
I've never seen Ray Allen get verbal with the guy.
I never have either.
Yeah, I mean, that was interesting.
As I said, he's the quiet one. His personality is such that he doesn't look for the limelight. Just he's a quiet assassin. Azubuike and now see what he can do.
Pierce on Jackson. Can't play him any better than that. So here you go. Ray Allen wanted a piece of Jackson. Even Jack taking that personally and couldn't hit the jumper. He wanted that one.
Yeah, I think he was playing a little one-on-one within the game there.
Jackson's guarding Pierce, but Allen's guarding Jackson. Clock down to 5.
So Peaches has long arms.
He's down 1. Peaches stayed down. That's a 24-second violation. Michael did well. Didn't buy the pump fakes. Didn't foul him.
He's doing a pretty good job of reaching in and still moving his feet to recover so he doesn't get burned.
So here is Brandon Wright getting his first playing time with Benga and Petrus. Azubuike and Monte Ellis. Final minute here in the third.
I would love to see Brandon Wright go in there at the same time as Garnett. Get his feet wet in a big way. And he'd be up for challenge.
Petrus catch and shoot.
He missed that, but it was right on line. It was not an easy shot, and that tells me he's feeling pretty good about his touch right now. He's only 3 of 10 tonight, but that looked good that way.
All down the lane. Foul as Benga and Brandon Wright were there.
Now, Pollard's arm went out because he's not, as you said, Garnett inside. He almost got that shot stuffed.
Yeah, that's what Nelly's having a nice conversation with Dick Bavetta, saying both my guys were going to block that shot, and Pollard just warded him off with the free arm. The Warrior bench have been averaging 30 a game the last 3 games. Right on pace for that with the 22 so far. The difference is you chronicled at halftime, Jim, the starters have not given them the solid games tonight. And then also, Petrus is starting instead of Harrington.
I mean, this is an incredible stat to me. If you take away Andres' 2 of 3 at halftime, the rest of the Warriors were 5 of 29, the starters. 5 of 29. But that's all water under the bridge now.
Pollard knocking down both free throws.
Ellis has added 6 points here in the third quarter. So he leads the Warriors with 17. And
missing. Brandon Wright with the rebound. The lefty hook is good.
He's got that down.
Wonder if Brandon Wright will get extended playing time in the fourth.
Well, if the game doesn't get any closer, he should. If you hope if the game will get closer, maybe he'll stay in.
Final second. Eddie House, did he get off in time? He did not. So the Warriors made a little mini run, and the Celtics more than answered with a 13-4 run of their own. So now they have dug themselves a hole, down 17 through 3 quarters, shooting only 34%. Brandon Wright just in the game and right in the bucket. Well, in Boston, third stop on the road trip, first back-to-back on the trip. And the third quarter looked a little bit more like the Warriors. The problem is the Celtics have built that big lead and are Toyota Tundra keys to the game.
Well, I wanted them to go in and attack defensively the post. The Warriors have got points in the paint, but they haven't come up with the steals that they had last night. And that's been the difference, if you ask me. And the three-point shooting just overall has not been there when they're 3 of 18, because that, to me, Bob, is a great equalizer. Now, Warriors 3 of 18. What if they were 8 of 18? That'd be another 10 points. And we talked about that at halftime. If they'd have been 6 of 14 rather than 2 of 14, it's a 1-point game. But they just haven't been able to hit from the outside tonight. So and that hasn't been defense, excuse me, but they've had great looks.
No, that's what I'm saying is you would take a lot of the looks that Azubuike and Petrus had at many times, even Steven Jackson tonight, and they're going to make a lot of those during the season, but not tonight.
And that run, most of those happen off of turnovers. That's a tough move and finish by Paul Pierce, who's capable of doing that all the time.
Interesting lineup here. Monte and Azubuike. Crozier rattling that out, and there's Brandon Wright keeping it alive.
Love that.
And Azubuike, that's got to feel good.
Now, Brandon Wright won't get an assist. They better give him the rebound, but he just gave the Warriors 3 points through the personnel of Azubuike.
So Brandon Wright, Bellinelli, Crozier, Azubuike, and Monte.
That's a moving screen by Pierce. It's a moving screen. Otherwise, the defender catches up.
Eddie House has 10 off the bench. This is a perfect role for him. Bellinelli, very hard fall, but it hurt. Marco just hits up.
This young man, he's had a tough time early on. We saw him get a 3-point play in the first half on driving to the basket. Here's that in and out 3 by Crozier and keeping it alive by Brandon. And it sets up Azubuike for a clear one.
You know, that's a great camera job there and a nice replay by the truck. And that the length of Brandon Wright, you don't get a feel for it unless you start to see him more often. You know, the wingspan, 7'3½". And normally we say your wingspan is the same as your height. But 7'3½", and he just gets his hand on the ball in a lot of odd places. He's able to block shots, knock away steals, and when he dunks and goes to the rim, you see him warming up, Jim.
He flies. He flies and he soars. The thing about Brandon is that he has a nose for the ball.
Pierce continues to do work inside.
Brandon chased out on a shooter that time, so he was unable to stay inside. I'd like to see him around that rim more. He does have a knack to get to the ball. Monte's got your 3-point threat from up top.
But Monte stopped taking those, which is good, although the turnover there is not. Tony Allen, Posey. So some of the Celtics reserves had a little fun tonight.
My second key, run. The Celtics have actually outrun the Warriors tonight.
Those a little step back.
He can stick it. Crozier can shoot.
This is, you want to see Don Nelson basketball? Pollard versus Crozier. Okay, Pollard supposedly is the bigger banger, but on the other end, he is at Crozier's mercy.
But you know what? I've always thought of Crozier as a kind of a softer player. But the more I've seen him, he sticks his nose in there. He'll bang with anybody.
That's what happened there. Bellinelli got lost.
I could say rookie mistake. How about a European mistake?
Okay.
He'll learn.
Brandon Wright inside, another rebound. Brandon Wright, another rebound, and he will get himself to the line. You just see the activity of this 20-year-old.
And those are shots that will go down for him with a little more experience. And it won't take a full year in order for these shots to go down. That was an easy one that he missed. Maybe he was expecting contact. He gets the contact there on the follow.
Brandon Wright to shoot a pair on Marines.com. Leaders of the game. Most points by the starters, and that's what makes the Warriors starters tonight so surprising. As Jim was mentioning, 85 a game from the starters. Now Harrington is not here, one of the starters, but Barron 3 of 13, Jackson 4 of 15. The Warriors are not going to win too many games when two of their captains have off games. Now Beatrice was 2 of 4, but only played 19 minutes. Posey bodied out of bounds. That'll be a foul. You know, when we were talking about Boston, Jim, and where they kind of sit in the balance of power of things.
Right.
Celtics, Orlando, I think very legit. Detroit is a good team. Not sold on Cleveland, Chicago, or scuffling. I'm going to watch with intense interest when Boston goes and plays at San Antonio, at Dallas, at Houston, at Denver, and has a West Coast trip.
That's the test. That's the test. And Brandon Wright, nice rebound and kick out.
Rozier rebounded the Bellinelli miss.
This group's playing pretty well. Now that'll be a test.
I think you're going to find out everything you need to know about the Celtics.
But you're going to find out that Kevin Garnett is a competitor as well.
Austin Crozier continues to shoot it well. Crozier had the 9 points and 6 rebounds in Toronto. His back is finally healthy. Nice little minutes in New York. And then continues to play well tonight.
He was probably the most instrumental individual in that game at Toronto.
I agree.
They're giving up. Now this group has given up too many easy shots inside in this quarter.
Bellinelli, has to start to understand Tony Allen is not a jump shooter. He wants to drive every time he has it.
Rozier's looking for a shot. They're going to call it travel. I'm not sure.
That will take us to a stoppage. 8:08 remaining in the ball game. The Celtics' big three is good as advertised. The Warriors going with the bench unit here. And Tony Allen has been driving at will. Boston has controlled the game. Warriors have never led. With 8:08 remaining in the ball game, our Esurance quick three, quote by Prince. And Ray Allen quickly knocking down a couple threes. 3 of them in the ball game. And we say quick release.
Two of them in succession there, and he's the best in the business right now. That Reggie Miller has retired. Your Esurance quick threes, quote by Prince. I'm trying to think. That is now 83s that Ray Allen has laid on the Warriors over the last, in his career in 11 years.
Yeah, they say certain shooters like certain buildings. Ray Allen likes certain jerseys, apparently.
I have great respect for him, even as a rookie in Milwaukee. What a gracious young man. I remember a conversation he had with Tim Roy after the game on the Warriors radio network.
Eddie House missing, and Brandon Wright is inhaling rebounds. He gets 6 boards in 5 minutes. Monte right around Scalabrine, up and in, and the foul. Monte Ellis has had a wonderful game. 19 points. Been the only Warrior consistent offensively.
Well, Scalabrine, the USC product, has no chance there at all. And Monte Ellis has been the one bright spot offensively for the Warriors. If he can just shoot some free throws, he's got to do better there. I guarantee it's in his mind. He's 9 of 13 from the field, and yet from the free throw line, he is only 1 of 3.
Ellis and Petrus's free throwing is the only concern in the early season. They're going to play enough and be
this right here is a good chance for Azubuike to showcase the defense and fierce beating, but they did well coming in and swarming in the lane. That's a nice move. That's a nice move.
A little fade and takes it off to the side.
I like what you said about Brandon Wright inhaling rebounds. And you know what? It makes the coach think a little bit, even though it's essentially an 18-point game with 7 minutes to go. Here's another opportunity for Brandon. boy, does he climb that imaginary rope.
He's got 7 boards. It's kind of fun to watch him.
It is fun.
I mean, that's what I'm focusing on right now. Crozier, a good look. That's unfortunate because Monte Ellis made the point guard play there. Drew 2 defenders. Kind of typified some of the wide open shots. The Warriors have misfired 4 of 22 from beyond the arc. The House battling it out. Bellinelli will handle. And probably at this juncture for Bellinelli, Brandon Wright. These are important minutes here. You want to get into the rotation, get a little bit of confidence. Crozier was held by Tony Allen. Ray Allen will check in for Paul Pierce. Now, the one thing I do notice early in the season, Doc Rivers, he's doing a better job than tonight. He's got the score to do it. Garnett, Ray Allen, and Pierce were playing all nearly 40 minutes a game.
Right.
And that's not going to work. Allen has that ankle problem. Pierce had the foot injury. Garnett's a high mileage player in terms of the number of years he's played and the minutes he's logged as Monte hits the jumper. You'll wear down your 3 stars doing that.
I think he just wanted them to get off to a good start. Okay, I mean, he wanted them to start bleeding early.
Block by Brandon Wright.
He got away from the goaltend there. That ball hit the rim. It was blocked, and then it hit the board, and then he grabbed it again.
Skip past, telegraphed a little bit, but how about you want to see Brandon Wright's length fully on display on that play. 5:48.
Well, let's watch this as we go to the break. Hits the board, he kicks it off. Nonetheless, Brandon Wright making his presence felt. Warriors 5:48 to go.
5:48 remaining. Celtics have been in control. We head to the baseline of Matt Steinmetz. And Matt, Rajon Rondo working at the point guard spot with the 3 stars. An interesting role for him.
Yeah, what I really think is interesting, Bob, is that Doc Rivers wants him to be more aggressive, wants him to take more open shots. And I just think that's interesting because here's a second-year player playing with Garnett, Pierce, and Ray Allen. And I just think it's a lot to ask of a second-year player to be aggressive when you're playing with 3 guys that good. Now, Jim, you've had the privilege of playing with some great players in this league. Can you tell me what it's like when the coach says, Jim, I want you to do more, and you're playing with Hall of Famers?
Well, you're right, and I'll tell you something. When you're a young player, it is very intimidating. I recall my first experience with the Celtics in 1966, and they had won 8 straight championships, and I did get into a playoff game where I managed to take 9 shots, and I was so nervous I only made 2 of them. But then as you get acclimated into the league, it was no problem playing alongside Rick Barry, Jeff Mullins, and Dave Thurman. Then I felt acclimated, but certainly I don't want to take as many shots as they would.
Well, and the reason Doc Rivers wants Rondo to be more aggressive offensively is that Kendrick Perkins is a non-offensive player. So they're going to slough off of him. It can't be 3-on-5. As good as the big 3 are, you need a 4th offensive option there. Or at least you have to honor him with a defender.
Well, that's a very good point that Matt brought up.
Bellinelli rattling it out.
In and out. Tough break for him. Marco, though, is getting some shots up, and to me, that's just encouraging.
Extended minutes for Bellinelli and Brandon Wright here in the 4th. Crozier. And that back in.
And by the way, with the 6 field goal attempts by Bellinelli, that ties his career high. See, and this is what he needs, experience.
Okay, so I'll ask you this now. You're in control of this game. There's 5:17 left. Garnett's already logged 31 minutes. Why is he back in the game?
He may have asked to go back in. I don't know. By the way, Garnett, you know what? Doc might even think about this. Doc was a player for 13 years. Maybe he wants Garnett to get his average. They're all 3 are averaging over 20.
Okay. Great Timeout Thursdays presented by KMBR, the Warrior Girls swimsuit calendar release party. A lot of fun with the Rockets in town. Yao Ming and McGrady. Log on to Warriors.com to meet the Warrior Girl dance team.
And there's another reason. Maybe he wants them to play alongside Scalabrine and Eddie House.
There you go.
You know,
and figure out, get used to playing with each other.
With everybody. Yeah. A lot of reasons.
Brandon Wright, a jumper over Garnett. A little strong, and Tony Allen with the rebound.
Brandon Wright has a very viable opportunity here. And a chance to get 10 rebounds tonight or more. He's got 8 now.
That passing, Ray Allen tracking that down. Brandon's getting a chance to guard Garnett. He changed Ray Allen's shot and deflected it to Bellinelli.
He's making things happen.
Yeah, Brandon's got to develop physically. We know that, but the more you watch him play, the more things he does that are good.
I told you Crozier would mix it up inside.
Blocked by Garnett, and a pocket pick by Eddie House.
Yeah, you have to know where those little guys are if you're going to dribble in the lane. But you know what? He was going to challenge Garnett again, probably with a jump hook.
Warriors will have Thanksgiving as a team and then deal with Washington on Friday.
Without Gilbert Arenas.
And that's, if you're an NBA fan, that's just unfortunate. Garnett fouled by Brandon Wright as he hit the jumper. Now Washington without Gilbert still beat Philadelphia going away. So
here's a little fadeaway jump shot. All you can do is challenge. You don't want to bail him out. You're never going to block that shot. Got him just on the elbow.
Patrick O'Brien checking in. So O'Brien and Brandon Wright with Crozier, Monte Ellis, and Bellinelli. I think Austin is 10 years older than every other player on the floor.
Yeah, that very well could be, since he's in his 11th year. This is a pretty big front line, tall front line for the Warriors, isn't it? That's a tough shot again, and he gets it.
Brandon Wright knocks it down.
He's comfortable around the top of the circle inside there up to the free throw line.
Crozier's 32.
Garnett,
everybody else is 21 or younger.
Garnett wanted the ball here. He wants to wheel and deal.
Missing. Scalabrine is out of bounds.
So Garnett's got 20. Allen's got 21.
And Pierce has 19.
Pierce has 19, and he's their leading scorer.
And now they're sitting down. Garnett also had the 10 rebounds, the 3 assists. Pierce had the 10 rebounds, 4 assists. And Glenn Big Baby Davis out of LSU, their second-round pick, checks in. They led LSU in that Final Four run. Bellinelli has had things right on line, but
they're just, I mean, they're just maybe a half inch, an inch off, just not going down. But I love it. He keeps shooting. I remember Big Baby Davis.
He's quickly become a crowd favorite. Missing there, and Brandon Wright's head was by the rim when he pulled that down.
Well, I told you about that rebound disparity. Brandon Wright's making it look more reasonable.
9 boards in 10 minutes.
Players can't stand and watch.
The ball didn't move around very well in that possession.
And Austin doesn't usually do that, but he forced that. He's much better when he's just squaring up to the hoop initially. Well, it's going to be a loss, but you know what? We're seeing a lot. And this group that's in here right now is making it interesting as far as I'm concerned. Seeing Bellinelli, Brandon Wright go.
Bryant says, yeah, right in your face, Baby Davis. That was pretty good defense and a great block. Monte will get the offensive foul, the passing crash. 2:05 remaining, the mandatory timeout. The Celtics' big 3. They took advantage of the Warriors tonight. Monte Ellis has been the one bright spot with 21 points, but Boston has been in control throughout. And our Fry's Electronics HD defining moments of the game featuring the big 3 as Pierce had 19, Garnett had 20, and Ray Allen had 21. And the Celtics took control of this game early. Of the Warriors to 29% shooting in the first half. And it had the advantage throughout.
What a luxury, though, to have 3 players capable of giving you 20-plus points every night. And that's what the Celtics possess now.
Boston will move to 9-1. They're undefeated at home. Shark bite with Drew Remenda. It's coming up right after the game on FSN Bay Area. Inside look at the San Jose Sharks. Drew usually entertains and makes you laugh a little bit.
2 minutes to play in the quarter.
Travel.
Red violation, Golden State ball.
That is Leon Poe, a Bay Area native. Played at Cal. And with Ryan Gomes part of the Garnett trade, Leon Poe could be a pretty energetic bench rebounder.
And just a wonderful kid from Oakland. Has had to overcome a lot in his life.
Eddie House striking the 3. Bay Area native Eddie House has had a wonderful game. 13 points off the bench. It's a perfect team for him. I mean, you think all the attention Ray Allen's going to get on the perimeter. Eddie House, he can shoot it.
And he shoots it from long range. He's taken 9 threes tonight.
And right down the lane, and he'll get himself to the line.
Heck, we could do a feature on Brandon Wright just in the 4th quarter.
Brandon Wright came in the final minute of the 3rd. He's got 5 points, 9 rebounds, 2 of 4 from the field. Log on to FSNBayArea.com and get the email before every FSN broadcast. Latest developments, stats, and keys to the upcoming games on all the Warrior info. Brandon knocking down both free throws.
Well, his performance tonight is definitely going to open some eyes.
7 points and 9 boards in 12 minutes.
You're going to read about him in the papers tomorrow, because I guarantee you the writers are going to be asking Nelly about him. And Nelly knows how to bring people along.
Eddie House. What did Eddie House in that multiple overtime game against Cal?
59.
Yeah, there you go.
Maybe 60, but 59. It's been a while for me.
I was 60 there. Or 61?
Yeah, I was there.
Brandon Wright used a timeout there. 22nd. I just know, Eddie House, he was with Phoenix and he went to New Jersey, but there's, again, another veteran player like a Posey, like a Scott Pollard, when they were filling out the rest of the Celtics roster.
And you're right, 61 more. I think about 61 points.
61, okay. Now, a year ago, it was just Barron versus his childhood buddy, Paul Pierce.
And this is the 96-95 win the Warriors laid on the Celtics here in the Garden. Warriors won both games last year.
And Pierce had no one to throw it to, and never even got the shot up. And, now he would have Garnett, he would have Ray Allen, he would have Eddie House. Yeah, from 24 wins to potential 60-win team.
I said in the first half that Paul Pierce used to have to struggle for those points and grind it out in the lane, and now with Garnett and Allen, they come much easier. And that's why, he may be playing a lot of minutes, but he might be playing 34 minutes a game last year, 38 here, but he's exerting less energy.
Yeah, not as much heavy lifting.
Does that make sense?
That's a very good point.
I figured I might get you with a little deductive reasoning on that.
Well, the only guy that I think they got to watch the minutes is Ray Allen. You start having ankle surgery, and Pierce had foot surgery. You got to be careful with that.
And I'm not playing devil's advocate, but the way Ray Allen plays, he's all softly up the perimeter on the sidelines. He doesn't go inside that often.
Yeah.
And he's different, so he just kind of gently moves around. He is a finesse player. Garnett, now there is a player that's all over the floor.
Monte Ellis called for the foul. I think that the way the trip breaks out, the Thanksgiving break will be a good one for the Warriors. They're done on the back-to-back, but you got to look at Washington and Philly as win opportunities.
Without question.
And we were kind of going through the Warrior history. They have not had a winning road trip in a 5-game trip or longer since the 80-81 season, Jim. It's been 27 years since they had a winning road trip of 5 games or longer.
And that is extremely long. It's a long drought, and good teams know how to win on the road. It's very surprising.
And so you think if they could come back 3-2, 4-1, and that would be, well, four wins would be a third of all their road wins from last year. They only won 12 as a team. sent away by Big Baby Davis, who has a little bit of a smile there.
Just so many people in there, and Bellinelli challenging. They just were waiting for him.
Bryant, see if he goes with the sky hook, and never had a chance.
Eddie House made a Baron Davis impersonation.
Eddie House, he's enough of a vet, no reason to shoot. Game been decided. And the Celtics were awfully good. The big three did everything they're supposed to. They combined for 60 points on the nose. And most impressively, they held the Warriors to 33% shooting. And the Warriors, averaging 109, held to 82. And the Celtics allowing 89, the league's best defense, hold the Warriors 7 below that at 82. So Boston did it offensively, they did it defensively. And without Gilbert Arenas, it'll be Caron Butler and Antoine Jamison. We'll have it for you after Thanksgiving at 4 o'clock on Friday, the day after. And how, just even emotionally, does Washington respond without Gilbert? And for the Warriors, can they come home with a winning road trip, 2-1 with 2 games remaining against Washington and Philly?
Well, they're going to go on the road, and they are going to play those last 2 games, and they're going to have confidence. They'll just throw this one away. And tonight, it was just too much Celtics, too much Garnett, Allen, and Pierce.
Well, Matt Steinmetz alongside Bay Area native Eddie House. And Matt, tell Eddie we were just talking about his 61-point game against Cal.
That's history, Bob. What I want to ask him, are you getting the easiest shots of your career right now playing with these guys?
Yeah, man, we get a lot of easy looks because teams got to double guys. They got to double Paul, they got to double Ticket. So, you know, they're unselfish guys, so they're making an extra pass and we getting wide open looks. It's just a matter of hitting them.
I mean, was that the reason you signed here after those guys? You knew they were here and this was a great opportunity?
It was a great opportunity to do something special. It wasn't, I was looking to try to do something for me. I was trying to do something for this team, this organization, to help bring it back to where it deserves to be. It definitely helped when I seen those 3 guys was here.
Doc Rivers said earlier in the week that you guys have had trouble with kind of up-tempo teams that spread the floor, Toronto and Orlando, and he was worried about tonight's game. What was the difference tonight in kind of shutting down the Warriors?
I think, you know, we played hard. We made them take tough shots. You know, they were missing tonight. They were 4 for 22 from 3, but I think that had a little bit to do with our defense as well. But we played hard, and like I said, we challenged every shot, and, you know, we came out with the win tonight.
Thanks a lot, Eddie. Nice performance for the Bay Area product.
All right, Matt. Well, the Celtics, as good as advertised, they give the Warriors their first loss on the road trip and end the Warriors' 3-game winning streak. Well, Boston moving to 9-1, the Warriors 3-7. But we did get a look at Brandon Wright with 7 points and 9 rebounds in a little under 13 minutes. And we'll see if that has Brandon increasing the playing time. Friday, when the Warriors take on the Wizards, that'll be at 4 o'clock. Shark Bite is on the way. And for Jim Barnett and Matt Steinmetz, Bob Fitzgerald, wishing all of you a great Thanksgiving. Enjoy the time with your family, and we'll check you out on Friday at 4 from our nation's capital. The C's, they're back in the elite in the NBA, and the Celtics, that credit is well deserved.